Good morning and welcome to part five, the next part of our serialization of Andrew and the Magic Giveashitometer growing up with ADHD. As I say, this is part 4 or 5. If you like the book, you can get it on Amazon, or you could just listen to me read it to you every day, which I'm really quite enjoying doing. So, let's move on with the next chapter. We're going to have 2 chapters today. Chapter called Disorder, which is very, very short, and a chapter called Oh, You're So Funny. Disorder. Like I said earlier, it is not a disorder. It's a difference of diversity. You can't fix us because we're not broken. Disorder as a word is a gross, short-sighted misrepresentation of people with ADHD. In contrast, some people, including me, describe ADHD as having superpowers. We are able to do different things, and diversity in society is one of the crucial ingredients to functionality. The world needs ADHD. So just to clarify, there are 3 types of ADHD. ADHD with attention deficit and impulsive presentations, known as attention deficit disorder or ADD. ADHD with hyperactive and impulsive presentations, known as hyperactive impulsive ADHD. And ADHD with the following 3 presentations: attention deficit, hyperactive and impulsive presentations. This is known as the combined type. By the way, I have the combined type. All 3 superpowers. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you're so funny. I've talked to you about being a misfit. This is not just what goes on in my mind, it is also what goes on in other people's minds. I remember one of my autistic friends saying to me, people don't like people who are different, and often people react defensively or aggressively to people who are neurodiverse. This is the thing, you see. All I knew was that people would refer to me in a range of insults, sometimes unkindly and sometimes well-meaning, and in fun. But insults nonetheless. Crazy, mad, nutter, never shuts up, always on the go, jellyhead, space cadet, etc. Sometimes these insults were much more hurtful, either because of who they came from or because they were pure, direct character attacks, such as "you're an idiot" or phrases like that. And all the while, I had no idea that I was neurodiverse. Not good for one's mental health and self-esteem, not one little bit. And that's how I lived for the best part of half a century. But the one that annoys me the most is "you're brilliant," "you should be a stand-up comedian," or "you're so funny." I hear this one lots. Now, I'll concede that this is not meant as an insult. It is meant as a compliment. This is quite obviously somebody who's enjoyed my work, engaged with my presentation, and ultimately wants to give me positive feedback. The trouble is, I've spent my life trying to be accepted and respected. I have a vast experience, a massive portfolio, and I am highly qualified. I will have probably just delivered an hour or 5 of the results of my painstaking research and practice, only to be told I should go into comedy. You see my point, I'm guessing? But should I be offended? No, of course not. I'm the one that chose to use humour in my presentations. I'm the one who is naturally a funny person, and I'm the one who has just delivered a workshop in a way that another person can engage with. Trouble is, she or he thinks that I've been doing work like this all my life. This person does not see how hard the journey to here has been, and does not realise how important my work is to my well-being and feeling of progression. It has taken a long time to get to a point where I'm rightly proud of the work I do. However, I should have seen this coming a long time ago. Back in the 1980s, I was having a few bevies in a pub called 1984 in Cheltenham, and I was telling a story to my dear friend Graham Reedman. Graham and I were as close as 2 heterosexual men could possibly be. We loved each other with a depth I cannot explain rationally. He was quiet, good-looking and tall sort of a chap, and I was this loud, gregarious joker. But somehow we had this incredible brotherly love for each other. We both lost our mothers to cancer at around the same time, and although we never discussed it, I'm sure it added to the bond we had together. We just kind of got each other. I hope you have the joy to find a friend like that one day. Graham died suddenly in a motorbike accident in December 1990, aged 24. The gap he left in my life has never been filled, and I miss him every day. So, back to the pub. Whatever was going on in my brain that night, I was seriously on one. I was telling Graham about something that happened or who knows what. And this story just went everywhere. Deviations aplenty and lots of unimportant details which I genuinely believed were crucial details. I must have gone on for hours, and poor old Graham just sat there and dutifully engaged. Sitting across a bar table, eyes locked, this was not a conversation, this was a monologue, which could have only been rivaled by the great Ronnie Corbett. Look him up. Finally, I got to the end and took a breath. It was over. Graham looked at me and said, "You spin a ripping yarn, Andrew." At that moment, I felt immense pride. I was good at something. Some years later, as a direct result of my storytelling skills, I joined the global TED community by becoming a TEDx speaker delivering a talk entitled From Disability to Superpowers. In this talk, I discussed some of the things neurodiverse people can do that neurotypical people can't do. It's out there online if you fancy checking it out. My only regret is that I did not make reference to my ADHD. Nonetheless, it seems that my storytelling skills were going to be an integral part of my development. In ADHD, those skills are out there. You just have to apply them in the right places. Lovely speaking to you, friends. Looking forward to talking to you tomorrow, where the chapter is going to be up in the morning and off to school. Stay happy, everybody. Have a good day.